What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Flying Fluffy Hockey live review of Sergei Bobrovsky stealing Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals in a 3-0 shutout victory for the Panthers over the Oilers. How's everybody doing? I think my dad titled this review appropriately. Hello, Damien. Hello, Jake. How is everybody doing? So we got a lot to talk about, namely Edmonton insisted on attempting to set the tone for the series by trying to run and gun. Jake thinks Bob plays his best when he faces a lot of shots, methinks. So, let me see if I can take a look at some news on Twitter and ESPN without crashing the stream. Coach Maurice opened his press conference last night with a big congrats to his son Jake and the Florida Everblades for capturing their third straight Kelly Cup title. This morning, the Cats' scratches are getting some work in. Okay. And Bobrovsky deservedly got the game puck from last night. He said, good win, so let's reset and let's do it again. So, let's see. Bum, 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 bum. So, okay? Yeah, we're doing good. Okay. Tom says, doing good, going to be a tough series. Strafossi was at the game last night. That was amazing. Strafossi says, one of my friend's kids got a picture with Wayne Gretzky last night. Nice. Hello, Patrick. Colin says, who would score first between Yager or Okposo?
Yager.
Yeah. Even 52-year-old Yager probably would.
Okposo's going to get one, damn it. He's going to get an important goal. I know it. He has to. He almost got that third goal last night.
Yeah. So. Yeah, for the first time in franchise history, the Florida Panthers have a lead in the Stanley Cup final. let's see. I found the So after 2 periods last night, the money puck deserved to win-o-meter was 95.5% in favor of the Oilers, meaning the Oilers would deserve to win 95 point the Oilers would win 95.5% of the time after 1,000 game simulations. And also, Bobrovsky, who had spent 40 minutes on the ice, his expected goals against were 4.098, actual goals against 0. Hello, JC. And there's the lagging internet. Because heaven forbid I go over to Twitter for 5 minutes. So, Guido says Verhage continues to be inevitable. Hello, JC. 3 more, yeah. Kilo Echo thinks Lomberg needs to be in the lineup. It's not even that I don't think there was any particular line by the Panthers that played bad. I don't believe that the Panthers, any particular line, had an issue last night. You watch and watching it was more enjoyable because they were outside talking to fans and interviewing fans to watch parties. Like, greetings, Owl. Trey says the craziest Venus game was never in doubt. Well, as soon as Bobrovsky stops the first few breakaways, you got the sense that Bobrovsky might be putting on a masterclass, and fortunately he did. Yeah. The internet out here is so bad. Is anyone having a problem with lag? Usually you can hear my voice, but my I'll freeze up. Kilos, I'm just saying, you notice when Lomberg is on the ice. You notice Lorentz. Well, that could be both that could be either a positive or a negative. In game 1 against the Bruins, we all noticed Vlad was on the ice because he kept giving away the puck right in our own zone. Yeah, Lorenz is actually the only one of our fourth liners who has scored playoffs. Yes, he led it two of his first 5 shots faced, and also gave up the first shot on goal in consecutive periods. So Cousins might have gotten one. Not I wouldn't remember. So now the question becomes game game two. Game two, how do the Oilers respond? Do they try to run it done? Or do we see the play in general settle into something that's probably more sustainable for both teams? Stream is breaking up. Can you still hear me? So, yeah, we gave up too many breakaways. So, Trey says we can hear you, but just sound like a robot. Well, I would have to say the correct Pachara. We won, but it wasn't necessarily a great game. Played the way that the Panthers play. I mean, the Oilers got all those opportunities to score, but Bobrovsky stops them every single time. All right, well, it looks like the signal might have cleared up, at least for now. So hopefully up and it goes right back to leg. Let's see. And of course, I have to wait for Jaws to join us before we can solve the issue. So, do we have any Oilers fans? Do we have any Oilers fans in the chat today? And what did you guys think? Were the Oilers simply goalied? Avery says Bob plays like a god during that game. Yeah. Owl says all the Oilers did was keep Bob hot, just like the Canes with Igor and Dallas with Skinner. Constantly throwing out shots can be a bad thing. That's a good question, Trey. Do teams return the cup at the start of the next season or at the start of next playoffs? Yeah, the Panthers should be better in the next games. They have to be better in the next games. There's a lot that can be improved on. Paul Maurice himself said during the game that the boys were playing a little tight. That was around the sometime in the second period he was interviewed. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm sure the cup would be returned at the start of the season. Cousins had an assist against the Lightning, no goals. Okay. So if you had to guess, would you say do you think that Bobrovsky will be able to have that kind of performance? Will be able to repeat that kind of performance, let alone play like that every game? I guess the more important issue is will the Panthers give the offensive support necessary for that to work? Because right now, this game is very, very similar to how Game 1 against the Rangers went. We get a 3-0 shutout, including an empty netter, even while not playing our best game of the postseason. Let's see. Owl says he won't need to play like that every game, but he can repeat it, certainly. Trey says, if only McJesus had an own goal, too. Trey says, actually, no, that would piss him off and get him going. Yeah, that's smart to immediately take back your wish, Trey. You never know when someone with a monkey's paw is actually wanting the same thing to happen. Yeah, we do have to continue to grind. The Oilers were playing run and gun. I don't know if they can keep doing that. So Owls thinks McDavid and Draisaitl have bad tempers. We're doing good at tilting them. Yeah, doubling up them on hits was key. We got to keep doing that. Yeah. Well, the Panthers invested in players that can play physically. In fact, the Panthers are pretty much built for almost every single style. It was rough last night, but the Panthers were able to keep up with the Oilers' run and gun well enough. And whenever Bobrovsky faced a shot, he was able to make the save. Owls says McDavid played puck luck, but praised both teams after the game. So, yeah, I'm sure the Oilers are going to make a handful of adjustments. I doubt that they go right back to run and gun. Hello, Christopher. Mike says he said maybe it was the hockey gods getting them back for their Game 6 win where they got outplayed by Dallas and won. Yeah. Like Tree said, Dallas lost in true Peter DeBoer fashion getting goalied by Edmonton. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Adam Fink. Doing all right. Now, if only the internet would cooperate. My dad keeps saying he's gonna call the internet guys. He's gonna call the internet guys. Owl says Bob was taking some pretty major risks last night and they were never able to punish him very aggressively in the crease. I said this the whole minded him of our series versus the Leafs and Hurricanes last year. Trey says, we beat them in every stat except shots. We had more hits. We won more face-off. We killed more penalties. And we had more goals. Well, I'm just curious. I'm curious to find out if the Oilers keep press the run and gun. Yeah, Mike brings up a good point. Florida needs to adjust and defend. That one-touch quick play to a streaking player ended up on a breakaway. The boys can't let that happen again. Hungry. I definitely have not run into the refs gave the Panthers this game crap. Bob gave the Panthers this game.
Okay.
Hey. So, okay.
Huh?
Yeah,
Hey, Bobby.
the low internet signal is here. Yeah.
We shouldn't have any problems, but is it bad? Because I can restart it if I need to.
I'll let the chat. How is there any lag right now?
I'll come fix it if I need to.
Yes, Shadow Wolf says you made a mistake last night in your recap. The game is on Monday, not Tuesday. And Corey says congrats on 8,000 subs. Hey, thank you, buddy. Owl says, I think it was a major mistake for the Oilers to play run and gun. Them actually having strong defenses would make them scary last series. Kilo says, if I had a nickel for every pixel, you would have 25 cents. Jay Chuck says, going to Edmonton in a couple days, seeing games 3 and 4. Let's go Panthers. The Panthers had 21 blocked shots. Nice. That's the Panthers blocked 21 shots, not the other way around. Okay, it's clear now. Okay, it's much better.
All right.
Yeah, the Panthers laid 63 hits last night.
I'll just let you read this here. That one. Next to the last one.
Next to last one.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I thought you're probably exhausted.
Well, I mean, yeah, I was sort of just looking forward to the chill
Right.
afternoon.
Yeah. Yes. That's what I figured. All right. Let me get. Are you, Matthias?
No, that's this Karen.
I'm gonna put the camera on you.
Right.
So
We're live.
Huh?
I said we're streaming.
I know.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure you knew.
Hungry Cedarmore says, I really want to see what this series would look like with us playing like we did in games 2 and 3 versus Boston.
Okay.
Corey says it's unreal how quick Barkov was on that first goal.
Right.
Outskated McDavid.
Yeah, I think at various times, I think both teams surprised the other team with their speed. You know,
So,
like on the very first shift, Forsling had his ankles broken by McDavid in the defensive zone, but it doesn't matter how it happens. It is a shutout's a shutout. John Fluffy's just right there. He's just laying on the floor. He had an early morning.
so
And then we took a snooze. We didn't get a lot of sleep last night. We did not get. I don't even know if I got 2 hours worth of sleep, and then I did get a snooze a little bit this morning. So, Kyle, I can't read it. My eyes can't read the chat, so you're gonna have to sit up and engage.
well, let me see. I was about to. Oh, yeah. I looked at Money Puck's deserve to win-o-meter
Right.
after 2 periods last night.
Uh huh.
It was 95.5% Oilers.
Yeah. I mean, look, but here's the thing. Yes, there was a big disparity in shots, but the thing that the Panthers shouldn't really be, like it was just. I guess they said the final shots was like 33-18. So it wasn't like we allowed 50, 60 shots. You know what I mean? Generally, we allow about 25, and they allow about 25. So we allowed 7 more. They allowed 7 less. I think it surprised us a little bit, and in Verhaeghe's post-game comments, the way he put it was, we're trying to feel out the opponent, trying to get used to the opponent, see what they're like. So the fact that we got better as the game went on, especially in that third period when we had plenty of legs to hold things down in the offensive zone, I feel a lot better about the series after the third period than I would have felt after the first, and especially the first period.
Yeah.
Right.
And also,
I think Marie said the shots in the third were 7-6.
something like that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Money Puck had also shown through the first 2 periods that Bobrovsky's expected goals against were like just over 4.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
actual goals 0.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was all sorts of crazy stats.
Yeah.
From last night.
Yeah, Forsling looked like Forsling last night. I believe every player pretty much did a decent job.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, that third line, especially Lundell Luosterainen. If you guys haven't watched Dangle's recap, the cup check videos, if you haven't watched that, I suggest you watch it because it is extremely pro Panthers. Not that he's rooting for the Panthers, but he's very complimentary, especially of Lundell and Luosterainen. And it's good. It's great. You got to get to get a 2-0 series lead, you got to get game one, right? And so now that puts Edmonton under all that pressure, which puts Skinner under all that pressure, which that could be a good thing.
Well, Skinner was already slamming his stick and leaving the ice in frustration.
Yeah, well, do we know it was frustration? Like some guys, maybe they get themselves, amped up, just ready to go. We did. I don't even think we played Skinner this year, so I don't know if that's maybe part of his pregame ritual is getting himself, amped up and everything. I mean, he played fine.
Yes.
The maybe on the first goal he would have probably preferred to slide over a little bit sooner, but the Rodriguez goal that's on Nurse and the defense. No goalie is stopping that shot and that placement from that spot.
Which
the Rodriguez one, where Bennett put it behind the net and then put it out to Rodriguez right on his stick, and he just buried it up high. There's no goalie is making that stop. So Skinner did a good job of keeping it at 2-0. So there's no but when you're up against the brick wall, right? And how many times did we run the reverse of that against Tampa Bay? We had to be perfect. You know what I mean? And if you had one breakdown, Vasilevsky would make you pay for the whole game for it. Go ahead, Reed. I can't.
Nate says, Jaws, are you concerned about Edmonton's speed in giving up breakaway chances? Think we will control it better next week?
I think we'll be a lot better. I mean, we were better in the third period. They asked Marie Statner in the intermissions. He said that he felt they were a little bit tight. They needed to be harder on the puck. We got better as the game went on, and we are kind of used to it where, especially after we've had, even if we had 2 or 3 days off during the regular season, if it's the first home game, early in the game, especially the first few periods, sometimes the whole game, we just don't look right. I don't know what that is, right? But the fact that we survived it the way that we did, Bob was fine. But I think we might have been a little bit surprised by how hard Edmonton came out. But Edmonton doesn't have the experience that we had from last year. And I think what it's possible they did last night, I think they blew their wad of gasoline in the first and into the second period. Because as the Panthers gained energy, Edmonton lost energy. The Panthers have a little bit more experience in terms of obviously what it takes to win at this level. And I think, Panthers try to, start off and be a little bit more even, where Edmonton just came out and they were trying to bury us in that first period. And when the puck doesn't go in the net and you expend all that energy, and later on in the game, it becomes a problem.
Colby says hello.
Hey, bud.
He was at the watch party.
Nice.
And Trey says, I'm only concerned about 97 speed. That guy is Lamar Jackson on skates.
He's on a different planet. He got matched up with that Ekblad the one time, and he cut across, and Bob made the save. Right? I mean, those chances are going to happen. There's especially with Ekblad out there on the ice. But towards the end of the game, obviously they ended up with Draisaitl and McDavid together, kind of like we used to do with Barkov and Huberdeau. And the third line and the fourth line, as the game went on, I'm not saying they dominated, but they looked a lot better. And we could throw either one of those two lines out there and kill 30, 40 seconds. And I don't think Edmonton's going to have an answer for that in the long term.
Johnson, we're trailing in the third period. It seems like Edmonton's coach was barely using two lines desperately to catch up.
Yeah.
To succeed against the two lines. Both South 5 against Edmonton, 9-4 save percentage and 1 6 goals average against them as a Panther.
Yes.
He's got to keep playing like that.
Right.
Especially if we're going to give up 5 breakaways a night.
Right. And there goes the internet again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta call this. What I discovered is that here, let me get in there because
stand by.
We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Ow. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Good boy, Fluffy.
Where are you headed? Let's see. Hello. Let's see. Drew thinks Ed had the Edmonton at the game. Your Bob shut the door. Hello, hot dog. Andrew says, I agree. You all trying to say I'm not bypassed about is how I think about my Paul Maurice is your ex-Leaf coach. Okay.
All right, let's try this again. Go ahead.
All right. So Dennis says the 12 o'clock problem is back.
Yeah, I'm going to have to call him. What I discovered yesterday, long story short, I think they put 5G into the area. And now when I go into my settings, I have my normal Wi-Fi, my normal network. And now there's a whole new network, and it's 5G. I don't have the password to it, but it's coming off of my modem. And that signal is significantly stronger than this signal. And I think there's some kind of problem. I think it's giving me some kind of interference there. So I'll just have to call him Monday. I hate getting on the phone with him because you know how it is. Did you restart the modem? It's like, oh God, you got to go through the whole rigmarole with everybody.
Hello,
hey, MJ, thank you, MJ.
Thank you, MJ.
Good morning, brother.
Says, happy Sunday, Jaws and Kyle. That was a magnificent win last night. One of our best. One down. Rest Chet Walker and Pete Marovic's son, Josh. Pat Sajak retired from Wheel of Fortune after 40 years. Incredible.
He's still alive? And there goes the lag again.
And he just now retired.
Let me go see if I can get him. Stay there, buddy.
Duffy is right now. And my finger dad who cut up his finger. Says no internet solutions without going through the script. Lag again, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the Panthers do need to be better. I agree with that. Owl says in a matchup with a nearly 2,000 game coaching experience disparity, you'd feel super confident being on a team that is up in the series and with more experience. Well, yeah, this.
I can. So if it crashes again, we'll just have to end the stream. There's nothing I can do about it right now.
Okay.
Other than get on the phone with them. Ain't gonna help me right now.
Well, we seem to be doing all right.
Right. It's just it's so freaking aggravating because it'll be fine for 2 weeks, and you think okay, and then the same damn problem reappears. Anyway.
Yeah.
Read the chat. Well, if we have to bounce, we'll have to bounce.
Owl says in a matchup with a nearly 2,000 game coaching experience disparity, I'd feel super confident being on the team that is up in the series and with more experience.
Right. Yep, there it goes.
As soon as Skeeto said, Jaws, all is good now. Andrew, here, show. What? Andrew keeps asking Kyle, how's your finger feeling?
Yeah.
It's Jaws whose finger is still recovering.
We gotta bandage it up again. We gotta take it all off today and clean it up and put some new stuff on it but it's okay. It was feeling pretty good this morning, then I fell down the stairs again.
Owl says
it's been a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I can't read the chat, but I can't see it from here. So
if you fell down the stairs, what, you fell asleep and then fell down?
It's because he gets me up so early, and I just put my sandals on instead of my boots, right? So twice in the step, I slip, and then I boom, boom, boom. But this morning, I boom, boom, boom. I tried to grab so my finger got all hurt up again.
Owl says, Kyle, we actually have the power of the Leafs fans behind this series. They wouldn't even cheer for us versus Boston. We are unstoppable. No. Owl says, Jaws took the St. Patrick's shirt off.
Oh, I only wear that during the games. Yeah.
He says, why do the commentators keep making it sound like the Oilers are the only team that can adjust before game 2?
I don't know, man. They did through the whole Rangers series, too. It was, after the Rangers series was over, I was watching the commentator, and they were talking about how, well, the Rangers are probably the better team, but the Panthers still won. You're just like, what in the hell are you guys even watching?
So, MJ says this is 2000s buffering.
All right, let me just sit there, okay?
Okay. Do you think the fires might be?
I don't know. It's possible, but it still shouldn't be happening. I'm gonna try this one more time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, No, I don't think that's it either. Right. Right. All right, Kyle, try it one more time and that's it. Okay. I don't know what else to do with this shit.
Hey, we're back.
I get on the phone with him right now while we're live. That's what I'm
Yeah, we still need to get better. Okay, we're good for now. So Owls asks, are the longer breaks between games after Monday gonna be unbearable? I might enjoy the extra day. Hey, hot dog, how you doing? So yeah, the Florida Panthers take game 1 with a 3-0 shutout, and yeah, Bobrovsky pretty much stole this game. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, game 3 is on Thursday, so there's the game tomorrow, Monday, and then the 2-day break, and then Thursday and Saturday are the next games.
Yeah.
Let's
and
see.
then the Matthias is going to be here that Monday and Tuesday. So he'll be here for game 5, I believe it is. I think I looked at it. So if we have a chance to win in 5, he will be here.
Yeah.
Right. So that's it. How much sleep did you get, Kyle?
I got...
No, I'm not complaining. I'm asking.
Well, I was in bed by about 1.
Right.
I was starting to doze off, and then bark.
I know. That's kind of the same way I was. I was in bed or in the chair, and then he decided he had to go outside at 1 o'clock, and it was a whole. I got maybe 2 hours worth of sleep, so I'm frustrated, and then with the internet, so I'm trying to not get crabby. So I can't see it. My eyes have abandoned me these last couple of days. Here goes the internet.
So Matt MJ is wondering if the Oilers didn't quite adjust to East Coast time.
No, they look fine. They look fine.
I mean, did you see the run and gun?
Oilers, I'm sure that the way that they feel is that if they play that game a dozen more times, that they would win most of those games.
Literally, Oilers, according to statistics, should have won that game at least 900 out of 1,000 times.
Right. Yeah, I know. I saw Pozo couldn't finish. He came close. He just keeps coming close and close and close.
Pacharo said Oilers couldn't finish.
Oh, I thought he said Okposo. See, I can't read it.
Let's see.
I can't read it.
Dennis says the one thing that shocked me about that game was the speed that they were played. How sustainable will that be?
What did he say?
The one thing that shocked me about that game was the speed that they were playing.
No, they had already started to get themselves worn down by the third period, which is why we were able to, even things up a little bit.
Trey says salary cap $88 million next season, $4.5 million increase.
Right. Yeah, we had heard it was going to be 4, but now 4.5. I mean, you got to you got to get Reinhardt done.
Well, Owls is trying to draw attention to Ariana Grande and her boyfriend, the voice actor for SpongeBob, attending the gig. How come they didn't show her every 5 minutes?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to know. Yeah. So we're going to...
Andrew says, by the way, I'm here from Hockey from Home.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Strafossi says Jaws Kulikov played a great game last night.
Everybody played really well. I got no complaints with anybody's game last night. I don't think you'll see any lineup changes. And it's tough because you're only going to see lineup changes if we lose. And I probably would keep Lomberg and Cousins off the ice. And it's going to make it real interesting because they're both UFAs. Neither one of them have contracts for next year. And we already extended Gadjevich. So I would venture a guess that at least one of Lomberg and Cousins will be back next year.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Well, the most important thing is three more to go.
Yeah. But we can't get lost in that. But the players, they seem real steady. That's another reason why we got a lot of energy still left, is because we haven't been getting too high or too low. The players have just really been staying steady with things, and then they'll celebrate when we win.
Yeah,
that's it's a better frame of mind for him to be in than all of the just the emotional energy we expended last year to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
And then the way that the first round went, and the way all of the rounds went, the 4 overtime game, and then the next game was in overtime. The amount of emotional currency that we had spent by the time we got to Vegas, and it's 2-1 Vegas, and Chucky gets his sternum broke, and they had done everything they could, but this year they just stayed even keel the whole time, even when we were bitching as, hey man, they look like crap.
Well, how about the 2 straight overtime losses to be down in the series 2-1?
Oh, you're talking about the Rangers? Yeah, that too, right?
So
that was a concern because we kind of felt invincible in overtime. And then you lose 2 in a row, and you're behind in the series. And I agree.
So, Dennis says I want Gadjo on the ice so bad. No, don't wish on a monkey's paw.
No. I mean, I love those guys, but if the only reason those guys see the ice is if something bad happens, and so unfortunately.
Strafossi says, watch Maurice want to re-sign Akpos, so.
No, I don't think that'll happen. And Gadjevich will be here. I don't know which one of those 2 guys that we're going to sign. I mean, Lomberg and Cousins, they could stay, right? But they're going to have to just take their cheap contracts. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be up to them how they're going to feel after not playing the whole rest of the playoffs.
Hey, John, thank you for the 5.
Thank you, John. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Says Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel stole the team's drum last night. He can't stop pounding that drum. He won't give it back. What is he using it to annoy Tua to the point where Tua doesn't ask for his extension until after the season is over, just so McDaniel stops pounding the drum in his ears.
Right. Yeah, or maybe he knocked Greer over the head and say, hey, don't sign this guy until after he plays this season. See if he can actually play 2 seasons of being healthy. And that's the difference.
Let's see. Brandon says, I was at the game last night and the building was on fire when Swaggy scored the first goal.
I bet, right? Right?
Dennis says, remember when Mahura was on the ice in the finals? Blech.
Not just Mahura, but Zach Dolpe and Denisenko. And both Stahl brothers. Not that the Stahl brothers were a problem. But
I mean, Eric Stahl scored a shorthanded goal to open things up. And then
how would we be against the Oilers with Stahl and Dolpe and Denisenko? And remember, no Luosterainen, too.
Yeah. Tom says, how to become a Stanley Cup champion. Talent plus execution plus attrition. Also, get rid of the monkey's paws, which
Right. What's my
Mike
guess?
says thoughts on the pick play they kept getting away with. The most obvious interference was on Barkov when he was trying to get to the D-man and got contacted.
Yeah,
Whole crowd reacted.
I saw that. I mean, I didn't call it a pick pay at the time, but there were a couple of times, and I kind of felt like, okay, we're not going to call that. There's no interference there. If as long as they're gonna not make calls both ways, I'm okay with it, because I would rather have 0 power plays and 0 power plays than 2 and 2. You know what I mean? But yeah, there was a couple things that, but it happens in most games. I think Kyle and I saw a trip that we kind of got away with. I don't remember exactly when it was, but
Well,
we both kind of saw it.
are you talking about like Rodriguez?
I don't remember. I don't remember when it was. I just remember we both kind of like, okay, they're not going to call that. Okay, good. So, what's that? Hey, MJ. Thank you, brother. Thank you, MJ.
Thank you for the 5.
Thank you, bud.
What are your guys' thoughts on the media coverage of the Panthers in the finals? Was the local media supportive enough? Well, for our local ABC channel, WMAR, they just had their local coverage,
Right.
and then at 8 o'clock they switched to the ESPN coverage.
Yeah.
ABC Los Angeles used the Carolina Panthers logo.
Almighty. How are people still making that mistake?
Yeah.
It's just embarrassing. I don't understand it. But, as I've had to learn over the years with the YouTube channel, hockey is, you don't want to think it's a niche sport. It's not exactly a niche sport, but it's not kitchen table sport where you go to the barbecue and everybody knows about football. You know what I mean? And there goes the internet again, right? Yeah. It's coming back a little bit quicker. They're going to get a nasty phone call today. I feel like yelling at somebody, so I think I'm going to call the internet company today. And then they're going to tell me all the tech guys are on break because it's Sunday, right? Yeah. So there's that.
The Carolina Panthers versus Houston Oilers.
Yeah, right? That's true, though.
I don't know if either of those teams exist at the same time. I think the Oilers might have moved to Tennessee just as the Panthers came into existence.
You might be correct there. You might be correct.
Corey says, with the culture change and team turnaround, think of all the players that would want to come here if we will have the cap room.
One thing that I keep seeing all of a sudden, and it reminds me of how the Buffalo Bills fans complaining about the weather in Miami when they play down in Miami. I've seen a lot of comments in the media and on YouTube from Canadians talking about how, there's no taxes and Florida's got sunshine and no taxes. And yeah, but it never dawned on me to complain about that in terms of a hockey team having an advantage, right? I mean, you can't have it both ways. For so long, we were told hockey would never work down here.
Yeah.
And now we have an unfair advantage because of the weather and the low taxes. If you want low taxes, vote the right people in office. You know what I mean? I don't know what to tell you there.
Either that or throw some tea into the harbor. That always works.
That works too. The sunshine, I get it. I understand that, but I've been seeing that a lot this time. I guess that's because the Canadian team finally is in the finals. So it'll be interesting if the Panthers win. If it's going to be, we had an unfair advantage because there's no state tax in Florida.
Which that would be another thing that they blame the governor for.
But yeah, I don't know how it works in Canada. I don't know if each province and whatnot has their own taxes like they do here.
Dennis says I can't believe No Block called us the Buffalo Bills of hockey. He did not do that. What he did was he talked about how No Block talks about how yes, experience is valuable, and then he casually threw shade, basically threw the Bills under the bus. Like ask the '90s, ask the Bills how experience worked for them.
It doesn't. I mean, it's one of those things that is, probably does. You never want a team any feel this, and the Panthers had made before time might be relevant. But,
So,
all right, Kyle's because his mother and we got to get done an hour.
in the Panthers 95 moved in, and so
it's a couple of years over that.
Yeah.
Yep. So, all
right.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for hanging out with us. And yeah, we will get this. We'll see you 1/2 hour before the game tomorrow.
Yeah.
And super chats. And go Sunday night.
Yeah. Enjoy your Sunday, everybody.